Hi everyone! This video will be the first to hopefully many of my advice-based videos? That's new. I meant videos. If you're like me and you enjoy watching romantic comedies or just romantic movies, which by the way I went to see The Fault in Our Stars yesterday, I'm not going to say anything, you go watch it if you haven't watched it. Bring tissues, that's all I'm going to say. There were these women that went to see it before us and they asked us if we were going to see the sad movie, and me and my friend said, yeah we are, and they gave us tissues. How lovely. Which we used every single one of them, just saying. It was so good. Anyway, while watching a romantic movie you might be thinking, I want a man like that. Why isn't a man like that in my life? I want someone like that to love me forever and everything could be happy. Yay! If it's a nice romantic comedy or romantic love story. After watching these films, you then say to yourself, I want to go and find a man like this, or I want a man to come to me and we can live happily ever after. But sometimes, if you're like me, things kind of scare you and you become a bit scared and a bit tense up with the idea of commitment and relationships. I've had many people come up to me saying, what should I do now if this guy's done this or he's said this, or I've never had a boy come up to me though, because obviously I'm a girl so I don't really understand their kind of views, and back to the point. What I'll be talking about in this video is what people are genuinely afraid of when about to commit to a relationship or even start a relationship, because there are some factors that people are naturally going to be afraid of, but some more than others, if that makes any sense. But enough of the intro, I will jump straight to the first one. You're afraid of heartbreak. Yes, of course, everyone's going to be afraid of being hurt and being left and obviously heartbroken is what I'm trying to say, but you're never going to know if you don't try. If you don't try and you don't put yourself forward and try new experiences and go for it with new people, you don't know what could happen. It could be the right one for you, and I tend to tell myself this a lot because I am one that's like, oh, change, no, I like my room, to be by myself. And we need to stop thinking like this, because if you don't go out there, you don't know what good things might happen to you. Yes, there may be some bad relationships on the way, but you'll learn from them and you'll learn from their mistakes. You know, it's hard speaking when you've got loads of things to say and then it's all just like blah, blah, blah. It's old age, I tell you, because I can say that now. The next point is that you're afraid to not be single anymore. Being single is great for the time being, but if you start imagining yourself, say 40 years on from now, do you still want to be single, or do you want to be in a committed relationship with maybe children or perhaps grandchildren, depending what age you are? Being single means you can do lots and lots of fun things, but if you're in a relationship, there are other things you can do. There are pros and cons of being single and being in a relationship. Coming from a single person myself, I enjoy the freedom that I have and that I can do anything. And as soon as a guy says, let's hang out, I immediately and instantly just back out because I'm just that scared of not being single anymore and not having that freedom. But who am I to know what things might happen when you're in a relationship? I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's good to try new experiences because you never know what will happen, and those things might be good. You just never know. Next point is that you're afraid to let someone know you. If you haven't been in a lot of relationships, it may be a bit strange allowing someone new to get to know you. You might not want them to see you in the morning when you're not looking your best. You just need to keep reminding yourself that nobody is perfect. Even your new boyfriend or girlfriend, they're not perfect, and they'll understand that you won't be perfect as well. Showing your true colours to someone can be very, very frightening for some people, as you don't know how the other person is going to receive it. But then again, like I've said before, if you don't try, you won't know. The next point is that you're afraid love doesn't work. Maybe when you were younger, you saw couples that weren't working out, or that you saw your parents having such a strong love relationship that you think yours won't work out the same way. Love in real life is not the same as it is in movies, which is obviously a great disappointment, but it's true, it's not. Everyone wants their love to be like the romantic movies and films, but unfortunately it's not like that. You have to decide what's best for you and just go for it, because if you don't, you might regret it. One that relates to me is that you're afraid you're too busy to be in a relationship. If you're afraid that your work or hobbies or clubs will get in the way of a relationship, then there's a much bigger problem. You're using your hobbies and plans as an excuse not to meet someone. Yes, it's good to have plans and activities and to do loads of different things, but what's not good is when you use them as an excuse not to meet up with someone. You're afraid to change. Maybe you've come across some couples that there's one dominant person and the other one seems to change their way of living or their habits to accommodate the other person. But this doesn't have to be the way. If you go on first dates and you don't like them, then that's fine, because that's why they're called first dates and not a committed relationship. And if you begin to see that maybe they are coming across a bit too dominant, just go up to them and talk to them about it. Then if they're still being persistent and asking you to change something very particular in your life, then that's not the right thing for you. When you're in a relationship, yes, some things will change, but what you mustn't do is let the personal and inner things in you change, if that makes any sense. I think I said that completely wrong. You mustn't change for anyone and you must stay true to yourself, but sometimes change can be good depending on what it is you're changing. I said change so many times right now. You're afraid everything might go too perfectly. Sometimes in relationships it's good to fight and cry because it lets out all kinds of emotions, but if your relationship's going too perfect, then it's kind of not going anywhere. I feel like I've missed so many points out in this video, so I'm just going to sum up everything right now. If you're afraid of taking new chances or meeting someone new, there are some things that can help you feel more confident and encourage you to go for it. My main advice is just to go for it, because you never know what might happen. Having said this, if it does not feel right from the beginning, then just leave it, because there will be many other chances. Also, if you're just not ready, then that's absolutely fine, because sometimes I feel like I'm not ready, which is why I just don't do anything and I'm happy being the way I am. But there's just something in my mind that just wants to know what it's like to be in a relationship, and you can't do that if you're just stuck in your room on your computer watching YouTube videos. So why are you watching this, hey? This has turned into some like sass diva thing. Get up from your seat and go and find someone. If you want. If you're happy, then that's fine. But if not, and you're just being single because you're scared of not being single anymore, what are you waiting for? Go and meet new people. Have I turned into a speaker?